Hello, everybody. It is midnight, July 15th on the West Coast. Vasu Vaddiparty here for the Make the Money and Run podcast minute. If it's midnight here, 3 o'clock on the East Coast, what are you doing up? What are you doing awake? Are you all excited about sports right now coming back? Baseball is going to start tomorrow. The second half of the season. Is your team a buyer? Is your team a seller? Where are they in the standings? I know that there's a lot of questions to be answered tomorrow on the Make the Money and Run full podcast, 8 hours from now, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, 9 hours from now, 9 o'clock on the West Coast, noon on the East Coast. John Perrotto, longtime Pittsburgh sports writer, been covering the Pirates for a long time, also a Hall of Fame voter. He's also with sportsbettingdime.com. He'll talk about all the things going on Major League Baseball as we get past the All-Star game. How about the All-Star game last night? Shohei Ohtani, a 1-2-3 first inning. He went 0 for 2. In his hitting. Major League Baseball made a special rule where they didn't leave the DH, they left the DH in so Ohtani could get his 2 at-bats and pitch the 1 inning. American League got a run in the second inning. He ended up getting the win, a 5-2 victory for the American League. Ohtani the winner, Corbin Burnes of the Milwaukee Brewers the loser, Vladimir Guerrero home run, and both catchers for each league, Mike Zunino of the Tampa Bay Rays and JT Realmuto of the Philadelphia Phillies each hit home runs. I had the number. It was going to be a long time since each catcher from each league hit a home run in the game, but turned out that was the case yesterday. 5-2, not a lot of runs scored in Colorado yesterday, but the Monday Night Home Run Derby turned out to be pretty exciting as well, too, as Pete Alonso. He was plus 500. He wins the Home Run Derby on Monday night. He beat Trey Mancini of the Baltimore Orioles, Pete Alonso of the New York Mets. Trey Mancini in the Home Run Derby didn't really want to be in it, but said he wanted to show people with cancer that you could come back from anything, as Trey Mancini had fought cancer all of 2020 and came back, and he's having a great year. In fact, all you got to do is look up his numbers. He's the best thing Baltimore's going with, and they could be one of the sellers, and he could be on the block as far as that goes. So a lot of things to talk about tomorrow with John Perrotto. Major League Baseball-wise, maybe we'll hit a little Pittsburgh Steelers in his hometown there in Pennsylvania, and also a lot of buyers and sellers in terms of who's going to be traded and who's not going to be traded in Major League Baseball. But how about the basketball game tonight? Game 4 of the NBA Finals. What a game it was. If you had the Milwaukee Bucks and you laid it minus 4.5, you got a little lucky, but sometimes in wagering, a lot of it has to do with luck than it has to do with skill. The Milwaukee Bucks scored 33 points in the fourth quarter. They were able to overtake the Phoenix Suns, end up winning by 6, 109-103. They had a 9-point deficit in the first quarter. Chris Middleton had 40, Giannis 26. Third time in the playoffs that Devin Booker scored 40 points for Phoenix with 42. Jay Crowder had 15. He was the second highest scorer. Chris Paul had a bad game again, 2 games in a row. 10.7 assists, but had 5 turnovers. DeAndre Ayton played well. He had 17 rebounds, but couldn't get a shot to go down as only 6 points. And then Drew Holiday was terrible, too. 4 of 20. He had 10 points. And then Pat Connaughton was good for Milwaukee off the bench, 3 3-point field goals to account for some of the bench scoring. So 109-103. Game 5 will be Monday night on ABC, Saturday night on ABC 6 Eastern. Now there's going to be a Game 6. And that'll be Tuesday. That'll also be 9 o'clock Eastern. How about the NBA Finals? Milwaukee 4.5, 220.5, 109-103 sends up most of the game in the fourth. Like I said, a 33-21 Milwaukee over Phoenix in the fourth quarter. Phoenix only shot 7 of 19 in the fourth and only had 5 turnovers to Milwaukee's 1. Booker fouled out at least 3 times. The refereeing was terrible. There were plenty of times where they could have called a foul on Devin Booker. Actually, the fouling was bad on both sides. So it turned out to be a pretty good game for the Milwaukee Bucks in the end, down 9 with about 9 minutes to go. They overtake them. Chris Middleton had 10 points in the last 6 minutes for Milwaukee. He outscored Phoenix by himself 10-4. So Phoenix and Milwaukee tied at 2. A series doesn't start until a road team wins a game. So far, all the home teams have won. It's going to have to be Milwaukee that ends up winning a road game because they're the lower seed. They're going to have to win one of the next 2 games in Phoenix if they're going to take this series for sure. Then Phoenix, all they have to do is hold home court and win the 2 games in Phoenix, and they'll be the NBA champions. I'm sure a lot of people thought when it was 2-0 Phoenix that there were not a lot of chance for Milwaukee being given. In fact, It could have easily been 3-1 up, but Phoenix kind of gave the game away. But give Milwaukee and their defense a lot of credit. Giannis played great. He dominated on the inside. Ayton was not effective. Brook Lopez was not as effective either. But Chris Middleton got hot in the fourth. 40 points in the game, 14 in the fourth quarter. Series tied at 2 games apiece. The early line on Saturday, is Phoenix -4, 218.5. The game will be played in Phoenix, as we said, Saturday at 9 Eastern on ABC. What do you think? MTMAR podcast at gmail.com, at MTMAR podcast on Twitter. You can catch us on any social media outlets. Vasu, Vaddiparty, Charlie O, Casey Freelove on Facebook, on Instagram. And then we also have a Make the Money and Run podcast page on Facebook as well, too. All right, so John Perrotto, our guest at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. A lot of baseball talk, who are buyers, who are sellers. The NBA playoffs, we'll get a Game 6 after the Bucks win tonight, 103. And then we'll talk a little MLB draft as well. The Pittsburgh Pirates had the number 1 draft pick in last Sunday's draft, so we'll get John Perrotto's opinion on the draft. We'll talk a little bit of football with 3 weeks to go till training camp. His Pittsburgh Steelers have a lot of questions with Ben Roethlisberger behind the center at the quarterback, and a lot of NBA talk as well, too, between Charlie O and myself. So join Charlie O and me, Vasu Vaddiparty, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on the Make the Money and Run podcast. We're here every Monday, Thursdays, and Fridays, Facebook Live and YouTube Live. You can download, subscribe anywhere you get your podcast. Have a great morning, everybody. We'll see you in about 8 hours and 50 minutes for the Make the Money and Run podcast with Vasu Vaddiparty and Charlie O. Tune in right at noon, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. You'll see John Perrotto right off the bat. Have a great night. Have a great morning, everyone. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.